Have you ever wondered why in the same situation some people fall apart while others rise stronger than ever? It's not luck. It's not natural talent. It's the power of positive thinking, the invisible force that can transform your entire life. Today, we'll unlock the extraordinary power of positive thinking and discover how it can turn you into the best version of yourself. Most people believe laziness is a sign of weakness, a lack of discipline or ambition. But that's not entirely true. Laziness is not always the disease. It's often a symptom of something deeper. When you understand why you're lazy, you can begin to cure it. The truth is, no one is born lazy. Every child is full of curiosity, energy, and drive. Over time, something changes. The fire dims, the excitement fades, and procrastination takes over. To overcome laziness, you must trace it back to its roots. One of the biggest causes of laziness is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, or even fear of success. When you think about starting something new, your mind instantly shows you all the ways it could go wrong. What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I'm not good enough? These silent thoughts create an invisible wall between intention and action. And behind that wall, you end up doing nothing. The brain, in its attempt to protect you from discomfort, disguises fear as laziness. So you scroll, you nap, you delay, not because you don't care, but because your brain is trying to keep you safe from possible pain. Another major reason is lack of clarity. When you don't know what you truly want, your energy has nowhere to go. Imagine trying to shoot an arrow without a target. You'll waste all your strength, but hit nothing. The same happens with life goals. If your vision is blurry, every step feels pointless. Your brain asks, why bother? And laziness quietly takes over. The cure here isn't more motivation, it's direction. When your goal is clear and meaningful, even small steps feel exciting. Sometimes laziness comes from mental or physical exhaustion. You're not lazy, you're drained. The constant pressure to achieve, impress, and perform wears people down until the body rebels. In this state, even simple tasks feel heavy. Rest isn't a waste of time, it's recovery. Think of it like recharging your phone. If you keep using it without plugging it in, it dies. Likewise, if you don't take time to rest, your motivation battery runs out. The solution isn't guilt. It's balance. There's also habitual comfort, the invisible trap of routine. If you spend long enough avoiding effort, your brain learns to associate stillness with safety. Over time, you normalize inactivity. You say, I'll do it later, and later becomes tomorrow, next week, next year. To break this pattern, you must interrupt it. Stand up, move, act. The smallest action is stronger than the biggest intention. Momentum destroys laziness faster than guilt ever could. Finally, understand that laziness can be a signal for change. Maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're bored, uninspired, or stuck doing something that doesn't align with who you are. If your job, studies, or goals feel meaningless, your body will naturally resist them. In that case, laziness isn't your enemy. It's your inner self whispering, this isn't right for you. Listen carefully. Sometimes curing laziness means changing direction, not pushing harder in the wrong one. So before you call yourself lazy, pause. Ask, what am I avoiding and why? The answer might surprise you. It could be fear, confusion, exhaustion, comfort, or lack of purpose. Each one requires a different cure. Once you identify the true cause, action becomes easier. Not because you force yourself to move, but because you finally understand what's been holding you back. Laziness disappears when clarity appears. It's not about fighting your nature. It's about aligning your mind, energy, and goals in the same direction. Once you understand the root of your laziness, the next step is to give your mind a clear direction. Laziness often thrives in confusion. When you wake up each day without knowing exactly what to do or why you're doing it, your brain drifts into idleness. It's like standing in the middle of a foggy road. You can't see far ahead, so you stop moving. That's why clarity is the ultimate weapon against laziness. It transforms vague wishes into focused energy. The first thing you must realize is that your brain craves specificity. Telling yourself, I need to work harder, or I want to improve my life, sounds inspiring but doesn't provide a clear path. These statements are too broad for your mind to process into action. On the other hand, when you say, I'll study English for 20 minutes every evening, your brain immediately understands what to do, when to do it, and how long it will take. The clearer your goal, the easier it is to start. But it's not just about clarity, it's about meaning. Goals that have emotional significance create natural motivation. For instance, I want to lose weight is an empty goal. However, I want to be healthy so I can play soccer with my son without getting tired gives that goal purpose. Emotion fuels consistency. When you attach your goals to something or someone you care about deeply, your effort becomes meaningful, not forced. Breaking goals into small, measurable actions is another secret weapon. Big dreams can be overwhelming. The brain looks at the mountain and says, "That's too much," then convinces you to do nothing. But when you divide that mountain into small hills, one step at a time, progress feels manageable. For example, if you want to write a book, don't set out to write 300 pages. Instead, decide to write one paragraph every morning. The small win triggers dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, making you feel good and encouraging you to continue. Over time, these small wins stack up into massive results. It also helps to visualize your goals daily. When you see your goals on paper or on your wall, your mind starts to believe they're possible. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. What you repeatedly see and think becomes familiar, and what's familiar feels achievable. Many successful people write their goals every morning or review them before bed. It's not superstition. It's brain programming. Another powerful trick is setting deadlines. Without a timeline, goals lose urgency. Think about how productive you become the night before an important deadline. That pressure forces focus. You can use that same energy intentionally. Instead of, "I'll start working out soon," say, "I'll start on Monday and track my progress for 30 days. The ticking clock adds accountability and momentum. Lastly, keep your goals visible and public. Tell a friend, post your progress, or join a group with similar ambitions. When others know about your goal, your sense of responsibility increases. You don't want to disappoint yourself or others. That external pressure can be healthy motivation. In the end, laziness isn't defeated by brute force. It's defeated by direction. A clear goal acts like a GPS for your brain. It eliminates hesitation, reduces mental friction, and gives every action a purpose. When you know exactly where you're going, taking the next step doesn't feel hard. It feels natural. The clearer your why, the stronger your drive to move forward. Remember, motivation fades, but clarity stays. There's a powerful truth about human behavior. Motivation rarely comes before action. It comes after it. Most people wait for the right mood to start doing something, not realizing that the mood never comes first. The longer you wait, the louder your brain becomes with excuses. "I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. I'll do it when I have more time." This cycle is the breeding ground of laziness. To break it, you need something simple but effective. The 5-second rule. Made famous by Mel Robbins, the concept is deceptively simple. Whenever you feel the urge to act, to get up, to start, to change something, I'd count backward from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Then move, stand up, open your laptop, pick up the book, begin the workout. Don't think it, just act. The magic lies not in the counting itself, but in what it does to your brain. You see, the moment you hesitate, your brain's prefrontal cortex starts analyzing the situation. It begins generating reasons to stay comfortable, safe, and still. This is an ancient survival instinct designed to keep you from danger. But in the modern world, it mostly keeps you from progress. By counting backward, you interrupt that mental pattern. You bypass the overthinking loop and switch into action mode before fear or laziness can take control. Try it right now. Think of one small task you've been delaying: sending an email, cleaning your desk, going for a run. Now count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. You'll feel resistance for the first second, then a sudden shift. Once you start moving, the hardest part is over. The brain follows the body. Once you act, motivation catches up. This rule works because it's grounded in science and habit formation. Every time you count down and act, you build a micro-habit of courage. You teach your brain that you're in control, not your emotions. Over time, hesitation decreases and momentum becomes automatic. What used to feel like a mountain of effort starts to feel like a natural reflex. You think less, and do more. Consistency is key here. The first few days, your mind will still fight back. It will whisper excuses like 5 seconds won't change my life. But that's exactly how transformation begins, with one decision at a time. Use it for everything. Waking up in the morning, starting work, making tough calls, or even speaking up in meetings. Each time you count and act, you're rewiring your brain to prefer action over delay. The 5-second rule also kills perfectionism, one of laziness's most clever disguises. Many people don't start because they want to do everything perfectly from the beginning. The rule reminds you that progress beats perfection every time. It's better to start messy than never to start at all. Once you're in motion, you can improve, but you can't fix what doesn't exist. Think of the 5-second window as a door. On one side is comfort, scrolling, thinking, avoiding. On the other side is progress, growth, movement, and self-respect. Every time you count down, you choose which side to step through. The more you choose action, the more your confidence grows. You stop identifying as lazy and start seeing yourself as someone who does what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. So next time laziness whispers, don't argue with it. Don't debate, don't delay, and don't wait to feel ready. Just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Your future self will thank you for those 5 seconds of courage that changed everything. Human behavior doesn't exist in isolation. It's deeply influenced by surroundings. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if you're trapped in an environment that promotes laziness, it will slowly pull you back down. The truth is, your environment is stronger than your willpower. It can either push you forward or keep you stuck exactly where you are. If you truly want to cure laziness, you must design a space and a social circle that make action the default option, not the struggle. Start by observing your current environment. Look around your room, your workspace, your home. Do these spaces inspire movement or encourage comfort? A cluttered desk, a messy room, or a bed too close to your computer can silently invite procrastination. The brain associates chaos with stress, and when you feel overwhelmed, you tend to shut down. Cleaning and organizing your space may sound small, but it's often the spark that reignites productivity. A tidy space equals a tidy mind, one that's ready to take action. Next, reduce friction between you and the task you want to accomplish. Friction is any barrier that makes doing something even slightly harder. For example, if your goal is to exercise, but your workout clothes are buried deep in a drawer, that's friction. If your goal is to read, but your book is hidden behind a pile of papers, that's friction. The solution? Make the first step effortless. Lay your clothes out the night before. Keep your book on the table where you eat breakfast. Put your phone in another room when it's time to work. The easier it is to start, the more likely you will. You can also add positive friction to reduce distractions. If social media wastes your time, sign out of your accounts or delete the apps from your home screen. If gaming steals your focus, unplug the console or set time limits. Make laziness inconvenient. Your brain naturally chooses the path of least resistance. So make the path toward productivity the easiest one available. But environment isn't only physical, it's also social. The people you spend time with shape your habits, often without you realizing it. If you surround yourself with people who complain, avoid challenges, or settle for mediocrity, their energy will drag you down. But if your circle includes ambitious, active, and positive individuals, their drive becomes contagious. It's a psychological phenomenon called social mirroring. You subconsciously imitate the behaviors of those around you. So choose wisely. Find friends, mentors, or online communities that reflect the version of yourself you want to become. You can even use accountability to turn your environment into a motivation engine. Tell someone your goals, join a challenge, partner up with a friend who shares the same mission. When others expect you to show up, laziness loses its grip. You don't want to let them or yourself down. Light, sound, and energy also matter. Open your curtains in the morning. Sunlight triggers wakefulness and suppresses melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. Play energetic music when you need a boost. Stand up while working. Move your body. Every sensory detail communicates something to your brain, and your brain responds with either action or inaction. In short, Don't rely on willpower alone. Engineer your surroundings to support the life you want. A well-designed environment removes unnecessary decisions, reduces temptation, and builds momentum naturally. When everything around you encourages progress, you don't have to fight laziness. It simply fades away. You no longer need to force discipline because your world itself becomes your reminder to move, grow, and achieve. Discipline doesn't mean punishing yourself endlessly. It means learning how to balance effort and reward. Many people fail to cure laziness because they treat every step of progress as suffering instead of celebration. But the brain isn't built that way. Your mind thrives on rewards. It craves acknowledgement for effort. If you learn to reward yourself wisely and stay consistent, you can rewire your habits from the inside out. The first rule of curing laziness is to make progress feel good. Whenever you complete a task, no matter how small, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical responsible for pleasure and motivation. It's the same chemical triggered by achievements, compliments, or even likes on social media. The trick is to use this mechanism to your advantage, to make productivity addictive instead of avoidance. Reward yourself after completing a goal, but do it in a way that reinforces growth. For example, if you finish your study session, let yourself watch one episode of your favorite show guilt-free. If you hit your workout target for the week, treat yourself to your favorite meal. The reward should feel satisfying but not destructive to your progress. On the flip side, introduce gentle self-discipline through small punishments when you break commitments. These aren't meant to shame you, but to remind your brain that laziness has consequences. For instance, if you skip your morning routine, do 20 push-ups or donate a small amount of money to a cause. This simple system of reward and consequence creates accountability. You start associating good behavior with pleasure and laziness with mild discomfort, which subtly trains your mind to choose action more often. However, the true cure for laziness lies not in intensity, but in consistency. Motivation fades, but consistency compounds. You don't need to transform your entire life in a week. You just need to keep going a little each day. Think of progress as building muscle. Repetition creates strength. Miss a day and it's fine. Miss a week and momentum dies. The goal is to make small daily actions so natural that they feel like brushing your teeth, automatic, effortless, and non-negotiable. To stay consistent, track your progress visibly. Use a journal, a wall calendar, or a simple checklist. Each time you complete a task, mark it down. Watching those marks grow is a powerful visual motivator. It's proof that you're improving. Psychologists call this the don't break the chain technique. Every day you show up, your chain grows longer and you'll naturally want to keep it unbroken. Also, learn to forgive yourself when you fall off track. Laziness will return occasionally. Everyone has off days. The danger isn't in failing once, it's in letting guilt convince you to quit altogether. Don't let one missed workout turn into a month of inactivity. The best performers in every field aren't perfect. They're persistent. They restart faster than others. Remember, curing laziness isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing relationship with your habits. As you build new patterns of discipline, your brain begins to expect action instead of delay. Your identity shifts from someone who tries to someone who does. And once that identity change happens, laziness loses its power completely. Reward yourself, discipline yourself, track your progress, and repeat. Over time, these small acts of consistency will reshape how you think and live. Laziness won't vanish overnight, but with each day of effort, you'll become stronger than the voice that says, "Not today." And when that voice returns, as it always does, you'll smile. Count down 5 to 4, 3, 2, 1, and move forward anyway. That's the real victory, not perfection, but progress, repeated until it becomes who you are. If you've made it this far, it means you truly want to change. Remember, laziness isn't a lack of ability, it's a pattern of behavior. Every small action you take today brings you closer to your best self. And if you want me to keep walking with you on this journey, hit subscribe, comment, I'll start today. And share this video to spread the motivation.